Welcome to Void Realities, a quiet corner of the universe where sleepless minds find gentle refuge. Here, stories are not rushed, they drift like starlight traveling through the dark. Every thought, every question about time, space, and existence is softened, stretched, and carried slowly to you. You don't need to fight the night. You don't need to chase sleep. Just let these words flow around you like a calm tide until your thoughts become weightless and your body remembers how to rest. This is where insomnia loosens its grip and wonder becomes a lullaby. What is time, really? A gentle river. You cannot see you rest inside a current that never pauses, a silent river carrying you forward. Time feels like water flowing, yet you cannot touch it. Tonight you lean closer to the stream, listening to the quiet murmur of what time might be. You close your eyes and yet you are still moving, not through space, not through a road you can touch with your feet, but through something softer, quieter, invisible. You drift forward on a current you cannot see. This current does not wait for you, does not slow or quicken at your command. It carries you whether you are aware of it or not. It is called time. Time is like a river, and you are always inside it. Sometimes you notice the water rushing past you when a day feels too short, or when a joyful moment disappears too quickly. Sometimes the river feels wide and still, stretching endlessly, as when you wait for news or sit in silence. But whether you feel it rushing or resting, the river flows without end. You cannot step out of this river. You cannot hold it still in your hands. You can only ride it, moment by moment, as if each second is a gentle ripple sliding across your skin. You may think of time as numbers on a clock or dates marked on a calendar. But clocks and calendars are only inventions, like nets we use to catch fish from the river. They do not create the river. They only help us notice that it flows. Deep beneath the ticking of clocks, time is something more profound. It is the pattern of change, the unfolding of one state into another. It is what allows a seed to become a tree, or a child to become an adult. Without time, nothing could grow, nothing could decay, nothing could move. Take a moment to think of your breath. You inhale, you exhale. In each rise and fall of your chest, a second has passed. Without noticing, you have moved further downstream. Your heart beats, and with each beat you are carried one step deeper into the current. Your body is a passenger, your cells recording the journey. Think of your memories. Yesterday is gone, but you carry its shadows, faint as ripples stretching behind you. The laughter of someone you love, the place you once called home, the sound of your own voice as a child. They are echoes, carried in the current, always behind you, never ahead. Tomorrow waits like a mist further downstream, hidden but certain, calling you gently toward it. And the present moment, this one right here as you breathe, is the small patch of river you float upon. You cannot touch yesterday though you try. You cannot step into tomorrow though you dream. All you ever hold is now. This thin slice of the river, glistening under your fingertips, is all you are ever truly given. It is easy to forget this. Often your mind tries to swim backward, replaying what has already happened, or tries to swim ahead, worrying about what might come. But the river does not allow such swimming. No matter how hard you try, the current always brings you back to where you are, here, now, in this breath. Science too sees time as a flow, but it asks, why does it flow at all? Why do we move forward and not backward? Why can you remember yesterday but never tomorrow? The laws of physics, written carefully on paper, are often symmetrical. They do not forbid things from happening in reverse. A ball rolling downhill could, in the equations, roll back uphill if the world were arranged so. And yet, in your daily life, milk spills but never leaps back into its glass. A candle burns down but never builds itself back up. Time has an arrow, always pointing forward. This arrow is born from change, from the spread of disorder, from what scientists call entropy. But for now, you need not worry about the technical word. Simply imagine a sandcastle on the beach. When it is fresh, its towers stand tall, its edges are crisp, but the wind blows, the tide comes in, and slowly the sharp edges soften. The castle loses its shape. It becomes less ordered, more scattered, more mixed with the sand around it. This is entropy, the natural tendency of the universe to move from neatness into mess, from order into spread. This spreading is what gives time its direction. It is why you sense yourself moving forward, never backward. It is why you feel the gentle push of the river at your back, urging you into what comes next. Even stars obey this river. The sun that warms you is burning its fuel, second by second. It is not eternal. It too is carried by time, slowly dimming, slowly changing, like all things. Galaxies drift apart, stars are born, stars die, and all of it is written into the river of time. And yet, even as vast as this flow may seem, your personal journey is small and intimate. You are not only carried by the great cosmic river, you are also a drop within it. Your heartbeat is a clock, your breath is a pendulum. You mark time simply by being alive. Consider how your perception of time shifts with feeling. When you are joyful, seconds run past you like playful water. When you are anxious, every moment clings like heavy mist, reluctant to let go. When you are bored, the river slows, wide and stagnant. And when you are grieving, the river feels almost cruel, pulling you away from what you want to hold forever. Science can measure time with atomic precision, yet your heart feels it differently. Time is not only physics, it is also experience. The scientist and the poet speak of the same river, but in different voices. One measures the depth, the speed, the distance traveled. The other describes how the water feels against the skin. You need both to understand what time is and what it means to you. For tonight, you do not need to solve the riddle. You need only rest in the river. Let yourself drift as if you were lying on your back in a gentle stream, the sky reflected above you. You are carried without effort. You are held without asking. The current knows the way. As you drift, notice the subtle mystery. Time is both always the same and always changing. Each second is like every other, tick by tick. Yet each second is also different, filled with a new arrangement of stars, cells, thoughts, breaths. You never pass through the same patch of river twice, and so you begin this journey, not to master time, but to soften into it, to lean closer to the murmur of its water, to listen with patience, with openness. You need not control the current. You need not understand every bend. It is enough to float, to feel, to wonder. The river carries you still. It carries your body, your thoughts, your history, your future. And though you cannot hold it, though it slips through your fingers, you are never apart from it. You are always within it. And as you let that truth settle into you, you begin to sense that the river is not only outside, but also inside. Your body has its own clocks, its own hidden currents, its own gentle tides. And so, as you drift in this first chapter of wonder, you are already leaning toward the next, the discovery that inside your skin too, time is quietly flowing. You drift with the river, quiet and still, and begin to notice the hidden rhythms of your own body. The seconds inside you keep their own secret beat, inviting you to listen to the clocks within your skin. Clocks inside your body. Your body is not separate from time. It ticks in pulses, rhythms, and secret cycles. From your beating heart to your sleeping brain, you are a clock made of living cells, measuring life with every breath you take. You are not only carried by time, you are made of it. Deep inside you, in ways you rarely notice, clocks are quietly ticking. They do not look like the clocks on your wall or the glowing digits on your phone. They are not made of metal gears or glass faces. Instead, they are woven into your body itself. Your heart, your breath, your brain, your cells, all of them measure time in their own gentle way. Place your hand over your chest and pause. Feel the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. It has been ticking since before you were born, and it will keep ticking until your last breath. Each beat is a signal, a moment, a marker. Your heart is a clock, dividing time into pulses, into a rhythm that guides the rest of your body. Now notice your breathing. You inhale and the world enters you. You exhale and you return something to the air. In and out, rise and fall. Another kind of clock, slower than your heart, yet just as faithful. Breath measures time in the language of life itself. Without it, the seconds stop. But the clocks inside you go deeper still. Every one of your cells has its own tiny rhythms. Inside them, molecules turn on and off like switches, guiding when you feel awake, when you feel hungry, when you feel tired. These are your circadian rhythms, the hidden lanterns that tell your body when it is day, when it is night, when it is time to rest or to rise. Imagine the sun rising. Even if you could not see it, your body would know. Light enters your eyes and whispers to your brain, "Wake now, it is morning." Hormones shift, temperature rises slightly, your heart beats a little quicker. Hours later, as the sky darkens, your body receives another whisper. "Rest now, it is night." Melatonin flows through your blood, your mind softens, your muscles release. You prepare for sleep, not because the clock on the wall tells you, but because the clock inside your cells does. Scientists have studied these hidden rhythms with wonder. They call it the circadian clock, from the Latin circadium, about a day. This clock is not exact, but it runs close to 24 hours. Left alone in darkness, your body will still keep track, drifting slightly but always cycling, always turning. You are tuned to the planet itself, to the spinning of Earth beneath the sun. But there are other clocks inside you too. Your stomach has its own rhythms, measuring when food is expected. That is why you feel hunger at regular times, even if you skip a meal. Your muscles have rhythms of strength rising and falling through the day. Your brain has rhythms of attention, focus, and rest, like waves moving through the ocean of your mind. Even your sleep is ruled by clocks within clocks. At night, you do not simply fall into one long, unbroken rest. Instead, you drift through cycles, light sleep, deep sleep, dream sleep, repeating every 90 minutes. These sleep cycles are another kind of clock, carrying you through the night like gentle tides. And so you see, you are not one clock, but many. Some tick fast, like your heartbeat. Some tick slow, like your circadian rhythm. Together they weave the music of your life, guiding you even when you are unaware. Think of an orchestra. Each instrument plays its part, some fast, some slow, some soft, some strong. Alone, each sound is simple, but together they form harmony. Your body is an orchestra of clocks, and you are the music they create. And yet, these clocks are not always in perfect tune. You know the feeling of jet lag, when you fly across the world, and your inner clock no longer matches the sun. You feel heavy, confused, out of rhythm. Or perhaps you have stayed awake too late, staring at a glowing screen, tricking your eyes into believing it is still day. Your body resists, your sleep feels restless, your morning is sluggish. The clocks within you are sensitive, and when they are disturbed, you feel the ripple in every part of yourself. Still, your body is resilient. Slowly, patiently, your inner clocks realign. They listen to light, to darkness, to rhythm, to routine. They adjust, they reset, they guide you back into harmony. Scientists have even discovered that these inner clocks go as deep as your DNA. In each cell, genes switch on and off at certain times, like candles lit and extinguished. Proteins build and dissolve, following a cycle as old as life itself. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree, carries these rhythms. The planet spins, the sun rises and sets, and life adapts. Time is not only outside of you, it has written itself into your very flesh. Pause for a moment and notice, how does time feel inside you right now? Is your heart slow or fast? Is your breath deep or shallow? Are your eyes heavy, ready for rest, or awake and curious? These are the voices of your inner clocks whispering their rhythms. And notice too how your feelings shape your sense of time. When you are anxious, your heart races, ticking faster, pulling time with it. When you are calm, your breath lengthens and time seems to stretch. Your perception is not only in the outer world, it is in your pulse, in your nerves, in your very cells. To live, then, is to be a keeper of time. You are not separate from the river, you are both passenger and clock. You are both carried and counting. You measure time simply by existing, and perhaps that is why sleep feels so sacred. When you drift into dreams, you hand your clocks over to silence. Your body continues to tick, your cells continue their cycles, but your mind lets go. Time passes, but you no longer chase it. You float, weightless, until morning calls you back. There is a quiet comfort in knowing this. Even as you sleep, your clocks keep you safe. They guide your breath, your heart, your temperature, your healing. They do not stop. They are the gentle guardians of your time. As you listen to them now, your heartbeat, your breath, your slowing thoughts, you may feel a soft gratitude. Without these inner clocks, there would be no rhythm, no memory, no life. With them, you are held, guided, carried. And as you rest in this awareness, you begin to wonder, if your body has so many clocks, what happens when the universe itself keeps time? How does the great river of the cosmos shape the seconds you live? The answer lies in gravity's gentle hand and the way it bends even the rhythm of your inner clocks. You feel the steady beat within you, but beyond your skin, another force is waiting. Gravity does not only hold you to the earth, it holds your seconds too, stretching and shaping the rhythm of time itself. Gravity's gentle hand on time. The universe pulls softly on your seconds, stretching and bending the flow you call now. High mountains and deep oceans tell different times. Gravity does not just hold you, it slows you, reminding you that even seconds have weight. You know gravity as the quiet force that keeps you grounded. It holds you close to Earth, keeps oceans from floating away, guides the moon around the planet, and steadies the planets around the sun. Without it, you would drift into the silence of space. But gravity does more than hold your body. It also holds your time. This truth is subtle, almost invisible, yet it touches every breath you take. Gravity bends time itself, stretching it, slowing it, shaping it like soft clay. Imagine a clock resting at the bottom of the ocean. Now picture another clock resting high on a mountain peak. Both tick faithfully second by second, but they do not tick together. The clock deep below, where Earth's gravity presses stronger, runs ever so slightly slower. The one high above, lighter under gravity's hand, runs a little faster. You cannot see the difference with your eyes. It is too small to notice in a single day. But science has measured it. With clocks so precise, they can detect even a fraction of a billionth of a second. Time itself flows differently depending on where you are. Closer to Earth's center, it slows. Farther away, it speeds up. This bending of time is called gravitational time dilation. It sounds complicated, but imagine time as a fabric stretched beneath you. The weight of Earth presses down on this fabric, curving it gently. Wherever the curve is deeper, time runs slower. Wherever it is lighter, time runs faster. You, your body, your seconds, you are woven into this curved fabric, flowing along with it. Think of yourself standing by the sea. The tide rises and falls, pulled by the moon's gravity. In a way, your seconds are like the tide, rising and falling under the pull of gravity. The ocean is not the only thing moved by weight. Time itself is tugged and stretched by it too. Einstein was the one who revealed this mystery. In his theory of general relativity, he showed that gravity is not just a force pulling things down. It is the bending of space and time itself. Mass, like Earth or the Sun, presses into the fabric of space-time, curving it. Objects move along this curve as if rolling down a gentle slope. But time also moves along it. Where gravity is strong, seconds lengthen. Where gravity is weak, they shorten. And so, gravity does not just hold your feet to the ground, it shapes the pace of your life. Take a quiet moment to feel this. Right now, your body is close to Earth's heart, pulled strongly by its mass. Your seconds here are slightly slower than the seconds of someone high above you in orbit. The difference is tiny, yet real. If you lived your entire life deep in a valley, and your twin lived on the top of a tall mountain, you would both age, but not at exactly the same pace. The mountain twin would live through slightly more time than you. The difference might only be a fraction of a second, but over eternity it becomes profound. Now imagine the astronauts in orbit. They circle Earth, floating above its surface, feeling lighter under gravity's grip. Their clocks tick just a little faster than yours. Yet, because they are moving quickly around Earth, another effect slows their time, the effect of motion. And so their seconds balance in a delicate dance, partly faster, partly slower, depending on speed and height. Gravity's hand is everywhere. At the heart of our galaxy, a massive black hole curves space-time so steeply that time slows nearly to a stop. For those who venture close, a minute might pass while years unfold elsewhere. To stand near such gravity is to feel time itself unravel. What is a second to you might be an eternity to someone far away. You may wonder, if time is bent by gravity, how do we keep the world in sync? How can satellites in the sky guide your phone to the right street, the right door, the right place? The answer lies in adjusting for time's bending. The clocks aboard satellites are corrected constantly for both their speed and their distance from Earth's mass. Without these corrections, your maps would fail. A single day's error would place you miles away from where you truly stand. Every time you use GPS, you are trusting Einstein's insight, trusting that time itself is curved and that we can account for it. Let yourself feel the intimacy of this. The directions you follow, the journeys you take, the places you arrive, all depend on the bending of time under gravity. Even your daily life is shaped by the universe's quiet hand. Pause again and feel your body resting here on Earth. You are heavier than you realize, not in weight, but in seconds. Gravity cradles you, slowing your time just a little. You are always moving through the current, but the strength of gravity's pull changes its pace. It is as though you live inside a great symphony, with gravity conducting the tempo. Where the conductor raises their hand strongly, the music slows. Where the hand lifts lightly, the music speeds. You are one note in this song, your seconds part of its rhythm. And so you see, gravity does not only shape space, it shapes time. It stretches the very now you inhabit. It makes seconds heavy or light. It means that a moment is never the same everywhere. It depends on where you are, how close you are to mass, how deep you rest in the curve of space-time. What does this mean for you lying here now? It means that even stillness is not uniform. Even as you breathe, your time is being shaped by the pull of the earth beneath you. It means that you are more connected to the cosmos than you ever imagined. The seconds you live are not only your own, they are woven into the gravity of stars, planets, galaxies. And when you look up at the night sky, you are not just seeing light, you are seeing time itself bent, stretched, delayed. Light from distant stars bends as it passes massive objects. It curves, it slows, it reaches you after long journeys through warped space-time. The starlight you see tonight is an echo of the universe's gravity, a record of time's bending across billions of years. There is a softness in realizing this. Your life is delicate, but it is also cosmic. Every second you experience is part of a larger story, written by the hand of gravity. And so you drift here, lying quietly, imagining your seconds as small ripples in a vast ocean. You are a drop of time, slowed gently by Earth, carried endlessly by the river of space-time. Gravity holds you not only in place, but also in pace. And just as you begin to rest in that thought, you wonder, if gravity bends time, what happens when you imagine the speed of light itself? What if you could ride alongside it to see how time changes in motion? You feel gravity's gentle weight on your seconds, slowing them, shaping them, holding them close. But beyond stillness lies another mystery. What happens to time when you chase the light itself? Einstein's daydream of light. You sit inside Einstein's thought, a train, a beam of light, a playful mind drifting. From a daydream came the truth. Time and space weave one fabric, and you live inside its folds. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself as a young student, restless in class, staring out the window. The world outside feels more alive than the numbers written on the chalkboard. You imagine yourself not sitting at a desk but riding beside a beam of light racing through space. This was Einstein's dream. He was only 16 when he asked himself a question. What would it feel like to ride on a beam of light? At first it seems like a playful thought, no different than a child imagining flight or wishing to swim among the stars. Yet in that quiet daydream lay the seed of a revolution, a way of seeing time and space that would forever change how we understand reality. Einstein imagined himself keeping pace with light. Would it appear frozen beside him, like a wave of brightness suspended in the air? Would it stop moving if he moved as fast as it did? And if so, what would that mean for the laws of nature? These questions followed him for years. They drifted through his mind as he walked the streets, as he worked in the patent office, as he gazed at the sky. He was not armed with laboratories or telescopes. He was armed only with imagination. And through this imagination, he discovered something profound. The speed of light is not like other speeds. No matter how you move, no matter how fast you chase it, light always runs away at the same pace, about 300,000 kilometers per second. It does not bend to your pursuit. It does not slow down to meet you. It remains steady, unyielding, the cosmic speed limit. But if light is always constant, then something else must give way. And what gives way is time itself. Imagine two people, one standing still, one moving quickly. Both carry clocks, both measure seconds. Yet when they compare, they do not agree. The moving person's clock ticks more slowly. Time stretches for them, lengthening each second so that light remains constant. This is time dilation, the slowing of time caused by motion. Not imagination, not illusion, but reality itself. To help yourself feel it, picture a train moving close to the speed of light. Inside, a child plays with a flashlight, bouncing its beam between two mirrors on the ceiling and the floor. To the child, the beam travels straight up and down, quick and simple. But to you, watching from the outside, the train is moving forward. The beam, from your perspective, must travel in a diagonal path, a longer distance. Light still moves at the same constant speed, both for the child and for you. But to keep this balance, time itself must change. For the child, time runs slower, allowing the beam to reach the mirror in perfect rhythm. For you, on the outside, your seconds pass differently. Both perspectives are true, both clocks are right, and yet they disagree. This is the poetry of relativity. Time is not absolute, carved into stone. It is flexible, soft, bending to motion, bending to speed. The faster you move, the more your seconds stretch, until at the speed of light, time would stop entirely. Pause and breathe with this idea. You are used to thinking of time as steady, as unwavering, but in truth it is like a fabric, capable of stretching and shrinking depending on how you move. Einstein's daydream showed us that space and time are not separate. They are threads of the same cloth woven together into space-time. To move through space is also to move through time. The two cannot be unraveled. Think of yourself walking across a meadow. Each step forward is also a step through time. The faster you move in space, the slower you move in time. You cannot move freely in both directions at once. One must bend to balance the other. And so, motion and time dance together. They are partners in balance, adjusting for light's constancy. No matter how fast you chase the beam, the universe reshapes your seconds to keep harmony. This truth is not just theory. It has been tested again and again. Jets carrying atomic clocks show measurable differences in time when they return to the ground. Particles moving close to light speed live longer than they should. Their decay slowed by stretched seconds. Even satellites in orbit, moving swiftly above Earth, experience time differently than you do here on the ground. Engineers must correct their clocks, or your GPS would drift hopelessly off course. Einstein's daydream lives in your daily life. It guides your navigation, your technology, your connection to the world. His playful question became a foundation for modern science. But beyond the practicality lies wonder. To think that time itself can bend is to realize that reality is stranger, softer, more mysterious than you once believed. Your seconds are not absolute. They are flexible, woven into the universe's fabric, adjusting quietly with each motion. Now close your eyes and imagine again that beam of light. You reach for it, but it always stays just ahead, steady, untouchable. In chasing it, you discover not light's secret, but time's. You realize that to protect the constancy of light, the universe itself bends its most intimate thread, your seconds. There is beauty in knowing this came not from a laboratory, but from imagination. Einstein dared to dream, and through his dream he reshaped how we see existence. And so you drift with him inside this vision, floating on a beam of light, feeling your seconds stretch long and slow. You begin to see time not as rigid, but as a gentle companion, willing to bend so the universe may remain harmonious. The thought settles into you like a soft blanket. Time is not fixed. It breathes, it flexes, it flows differently depending on where you are and how you move. And this means that two people may share a moment and yet live it differently. You let this idea rest in your chest. You feel yourself a passenger not only in a river, but in a fabric, soft and pliable. The fabric folds around you, and you are held inside its weave. And then you wonder, if motion can stretch time, what happens when two lives part ways, one moving fast among the stars, the other staying behind? What happens when they reunite and discover their ages no longer match? You drift from Einstein's daydream, still feeling the beam of light rushing ahead. But a question lingers. What becomes of two lives when their journeys through time do not agree? The twin who waits. Imagine two lives, two journeys through the stars. One travels far, one stays behind, and when they meet again, their ages disagree. Time is not equal everywhere. It bends to motion's secret song. Picture yourself as one of two twins. You and your sibling are born together, sharing the same first cries, the same sunlight, the same childhood home. For years your lives feel inseparable, as though your clocks tick in perfect harmony. Every birthday is shared, every candle blown side by side. Now imagine one day a journey is offered, a journey into the stars. One twin climbs aboard a ship that can travel near the speed of light. The other remains on Earth, grounded, watching the rocket's bright flame vanish into the sky. Both still feel connected. Both still feel the pull of time. Yet from that moment their clocks no longer agree. The twin on Earth continues through ordinary days. Seconds slip into minutes, minutes into hours, hours into years. Seasons change, hair turns gray. The body carries its own slow marks of time. But aboard the starship, something stranger happens. The ship moves so quickly, so close to the speed of light, that time itself stretches for the traveling twin. Their heart beats slower, their breath flows longer, their seconds unfold gently, like long ripples on still water. To them, life feels normal. Days pass, meals are eaten, dreams are dreamed. Yet compared to the sibling on Earth, their days are stretched wider, their years are fewer. This is the twin paradox, not a paradox in the sense of impossibility, but a paradox in the sense of wonder. Two people, born the same, living side by side, can grow apart in time itself. The one who waits on Earth grows older faster, the one who travels ages more slowly. And when they reunite, their faces tell different stories. Pause for a moment and feel this. Imagine standing at the launch pad, watching your twin leave. You wave, promising reunion. You live your years, your joys, your sorrows. You plant gardens, raise children, feel winters turn to summers. And then one day, the ship returns. Out steps your sibling, but their face looks younger, their body less worn, their years fewer. You have lived a lifetime together and yet apart. How can this be? It is the gift and the strangeness of relativity. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. For the traveling twin, motion stretches seconds, slowing their clock. For the waiting twin, time continues in its steady rhythm. Both feel normal. Both believe they are right. And yet, when their lives meet again, the difference is undeniable. This is not fiction. It has been measured, proven, tested. When airplanes circle the Earth carrying precise clocks, those clocks disagree with the ones left on the ground. The differences are tiny, but real. When particles are sped to near-light speeds in giant machines, their lifetimes lengthen, surviving longer than they would at rest. Nature itself confirms what Einstein imagined. Time is not equal everywhere. Think of this carefully. Time is not a single river flowing the same for everyone. It is many rivers curving differently depending on speed and gravity. Each life, each path, each motion is its own stream. Most of the time, these streams run close together, so close you do not notice the difference. But under the vastness of space, under the extremes of motion, the streams diverge. And so, the twin who waits carries more years, while the twin who travels carries fewer. There is something both wondrous and bittersweet in this story. Wondrous because it shows how alive the universe is, how flexible, how strange. Bittersweet because it reminds you that time is not fair, not equal, not something you can hold for two people in the same way. Even love, even family, even twinship cannot erase the bending of time. Now imagine yourself as the traveler. You gaze out the ship's window, watching stars streak into lines of light. To you, days feel ordinary. You count them as always. You wonder about your sibling on Earth, perhaps writing letters you cannot send. You know in your mind that your seconds are stretched, that your years will be fewer. But inside your heart, you still feel only the rhythm of your body, the normal passing of hours. And imagine yourself as the one who waits. You walk through the familiar seasons of Earth. The world shifts, cities change, children grow, decades arrive. You wait faithfully, and yet you know. When the reunion comes, it will not be equal. You will be older, and your sibling will still carry a younger face. This story of twins is more than a thought experiment. It is a reminder that time is relative. It depends on where you are, how you move, what path you take. You cannot assume that another life shares the same rhythm as yours. Each person moves through time at their own pace. Sometimes the difference is small, unnoticed. Other times it is vast, undeniable. And yet perhaps there is comfort here. For even as time bends differently, the bond remains. The twin who waits and the twin who travels are still connected, still bound by love, still mirrors of one another. Time may separate, but it cannot erase what is shared. Science often feels cold, filled with numbers and equations. But here in this story of twins, it becomes deeply human. It speaks of family, of longing, of the way lives diverge and reunite. It speaks of how time shapes not only physics, but relationships. And perhaps you feel this in your own way. Perhaps you too have known what it feels like to wait while another moves ahead. Perhaps you have felt time stretch differently in love, in absence, in distance. Relativity is not only written in the stars, it is written in your heart. Breathe with this thought. You are always traveling, always moving through space-time, though at speeds much slower than light. Your seconds are stretched and curved by motion and gravity. You too are part of this cosmic dance. And as you rest with the image of the twins, you may begin to wonder, what happens when clocks themselves are lifted into the sky, orbiting Earth? What does it mean for the seconds above to disagree with the seconds below? The answer lies in the quiet work of satellites circling endlessly, keeping the world in sync. The traveling twin returns, their face younger than the one who waited. Two lives, once equal, no longer match in years. And you wonder softly, what of the clocks drifting above us, circling in the sky? Clocks in the sky. Satellites drift above you, their clocks whispering seconds into your maps. Without adjusting for time's strange stretch, you would lose your way on Earth. The sky itself keeps you steady on the ground. Lift your eyes to the night sky. Above the quiet hum of your life, silent machines drift endlessly across the heavens. They are small compared to the stars, faint compared to the moon, but they play an intimate role in your everyday. These are satellites circling Earth, carrying clocks that keep you steady, guiding you through the folds of time. You may not notice them, but they notice you. When you ask your phone where you are, when you search for a path, when you follow a map, it is these satellites that whisper back. Their signals tell your device your position, your journey, your direction. But beneath this simple guidance lies a deeper story. Time itself, stretched and bent, corrected with care. Each satellite carries an atomic clock, precise and delicate. These clocks measure seconds not by ticking hands, but by the steady vibrations of atoms. They are so exact that they lose less than a billionth of a second in a day. From their orbit high above, they send these seconds down to Earth, helping you find your way. But here is the wonder. Their clocks do not tick at the same pace as clocks on the ground. Why? Because the satellites are far above Earth's surface, lighter under gravity's pull. And as you know from gravity's gentle hand, time runs faster where gravity is weaker. Their seconds stretch slightly wider than yours. The satellites also move quickly around Earth, circling once every 12 hours. Their speed slows their time, tugging their seconds shorter. So two effects tug at once. Gravity speeds them up, motion slows them down. The balance is delicate but not equal. Overall, the satellite's clocks run slightly faster than yours. If left uncorrected, this difference would ruin everything. Each day, the error would grow by several microseconds, tiny slivers of time. But in the language of distance, those microseconds mean miles. Within minutes, your GPS would drift, placing you streets away from where you stand. Within days, the map would be useless, pointing you to places you are not. And so, the engineers adjust. They build relativity into the system itself. Every signal, every calculation accounts for Einstein's truths. Gravity bends time, speed stretches time, and the satellite's clocks tick differently than those on Earth. Your navigation, your certainty of place, your ability to move through the world, all of it depends on relativity. Pause here and let this sink in. Einstein's daydream of riding a beam of light is not just a story. It is living above you right now, keeping you from getting lost on a morning drive, guiding planes across oceans, steering ships through fog. Each second bent by gravity and motion is balanced, corrected, so that your feet know where they stand. It is humbling to realize that your daily life depends on the bending of time. You are not separate from the cosmos. You live inside its fabric, and your devices whisper constantly to the sky, asking the universe for guidance. Imagine one of those satellites as it circles the Earth. It does not see roads, houses, or rivers. It sees a spinning planet, blue and white, wrapped in clouds. From that height, the details blur, but time remains sharp. Its clock ticks steadily, sending out signals at the speed of light. You, on the ground, receive them, weaving together whispers from many satellites at once. From these signals, your position appears, your map unfolds. And yet, beneath the quiet service, a delicate dance is happening. Time above you is faster than time below. Without careful correction, you would drift away from yourself. The ground and the sky would fall out of rhythm. This story teaches something soft, something easily overlooked. No clock is absolute. Not the one on your wrist, not the one on your wall, not even the one circling Earth in silence. Every clock is tied to its place, its speed, its gravity. Each measures time in its own rhythm. To live in harmony, we must account for these differences, weaving them together into a shared understanding. Take a moment and feel your own body again. Your heart is a clock, your breath is a clock. But the satellites above are clocks too, ticking in their own rhythm. The fact that you can move through the world with certainty means you are connected. Your inner time, the Earth's time, the sky's time, all joined in balance. Think too of the fragility of this system. Without these satellites, without their careful correction, modern life would stumble. Airplanes would lose guidance, banking systems which rely on precise timing would falter. Communications would drift. The world you know depends on the agreement of clocks across Earth and sky. And all of this is built upon the discovery that time is not absolute, that it bends, stretches, flexes under motion and gravity, that a child's daydream about light became the foundation for machines in orbit. There is beauty here, quiet and profound. Each time you glance at a map, you are participating in the great symphony of space-time. You are trusting clocks not only in your pocket, but in the sky. You are held in a web of seconds, woven by science, by imagination, by the bending of time itself. Let this thought soften you. You are not lost. You are never truly lost. The sky watches, the satellites whisper, the clocks above and below keep you tethered. Even as time bends differently in different places, harmony can be made. Even as seconds disagree, unity can be found. And so you drift into rest with this awareness. Your life is not only your own, it is guided by the stars, by the sky, by the quiet tick of clocks far above. But as you listen to this harmony, another thought begins to rise. If gravity can slow time and motion can bend it, what happens when you stand at the very edge of gravity itself? What becomes of seconds when they fall into a black hole, where time nearly stops? The sky's clocks keep you steady, their whispers guiding every step you take. Yet you wonder softly, if seconds stretch and shift in orbit, what happens when time falls into darkness itself? The heartbeat of black holes. At the edge of darkness, seconds stretch like taffy, fall too close, and time slows until it nearly stops. To watch a black hole is to watch eternity pause, a silent drum that swallows both space and memory. Yet you are safe, only listening to its heartbeat. Imagine yourself drifting deeper into the night sky. Stars gleam, galaxies shimmer, and then you see it. A place where light itself vanishes. A black hole, silent, invisible, and immense. Not a hole in the sense of emptiness, but a place where gravity has grown so strong that nothing escapes, not even light. You cannot see the black hole directly. What you see is the chaos around it. Gas spirals inward, heated to brilliance as it falls. Stars near the edge are torn apart, their light stretched, slowed, swallowed. Around the darkness lies a glowing ring, the last cry of matter before it disappears forever. Here at the edge of this abyss, time itself trembles. Gravity bends not just space, but seconds. The closer you move toward the black hole, the more your time stretches slower and slower, until from the outside it nearly halts. Scientists call this edge the event horizon. Cross it and no message can ever return. It is a boundary not only in space but in time. To you, falling in, seconds continue as normal. Your heart beats, your breath flows, your thoughts move forward. But to someone watching from afar, you slow, pause, fade. They never see you cross. You become frozen in time, stretched across the horizon, your last moment lingering forever. Pause and let that sink in. Imagine standing on a ship, watching a companion fall toward a black hole. To them, nothing feels strange. They drift closer, heartbeat steady. But to you, their movements grow sluggish, drawn out. A wave of their hand takes an eternity. Their voice thins into silence. Eventually, they seem to stop, forever caught on the edge, never quite gone. This is not illusion. This is gravity's ultimate strength. It bends time so deeply that from one perspective, seconds nearly vanish, and yet, for the one who falls, time does not stop. Inside their frame, everything continues. They cross the horizon, they drift inward. For them, there is no pause, no freeze. The paradox is only in the different views, the outsider, the traveler. Two perspectives, both true, both irreconcilable. Black holes remind us that time is not universal. It is personal, tied to where you stand, tied to the gravity you feel. Just as a satellite's clock ticks differently than one on Earth, so too does time near a black hole tick differently than time far away. The difference is not subtle here. It is overwhelming. Einstein's equations predicted this bending, and later astronomers confirmed it. In 2019, for the first time, we saw the shadow of a black hole, a glowing halo captured by the Event Horizon telescope. That picture, faint and blurry, was not only an image of matter, but of time itself, stretched and curved by gravity's hand. Think of your heart right now. It beats at a steady pace, perhaps slower as you listen, perhaps faster as you imagine the abyss. Near a black hole, that heartbeat would stretch. To someone far away, each beat would take longer, the rhythm fading into near stillness. Your heart would become a slow drum echoing across eternity. But for you, lying inside your own body, the beat would feel the same. This is the strange beauty of relativity. Two truths, both real yet different. Scientists describe this stretching of time with a simple term: time dilation. Near a black hole, the dilation is extreme. A few minutes by your side could equal centuries outside. Imagine drifting near a black hole, then returning. The Earth you knew would be changed, perhaps unrecognizable, while to you only an hour had passed. Pause again and let this image soften you. Time is not steady. It can be bent, stretched, pulled nearly to silence. A black hole is not only a place of gravity, but a place of time's surrender. Yet black holes are not only destroyers, they are keepers of rhythm. Around them matter swirls, emitting signals, flares, pulses. Astronomers have learned to listen to these pulses, these beats. Some black holes have hot, orbiting gas that flashes regularly, like the ticking of a cosmic clock. Others emit gravitational waves, ripples in space-time, when they merge, sending a tremor across the universe. These waves carry a rhythm, a deep vibration, like the heartbeat of the cosmos. When two black holes collide, space-time itself shudders. Detectors on Earth, like LIGO and Virgo, measure these ripples, tiny shifts smaller than the width of a proton. And yet, from these small tremors, we hear the footsteps of giants. We hear black holes merging, entire suns swallowed in seconds, the very fabric of time ringing like a bell. You might imagine this sound not as thunder, but as a low, slow drumbeat. The heartbeat of black holes felt across galaxies. Even in their silence, they leave echoes. Even in their darkness, they reveal the flexibility of time. Think of what this means for you. You live far from any black hole, safe on Earth, your seconds gentle and steady. But you share a universe with them. You share a cosmos where time can be slowed nearly to nothing, where moments can linger forever on horizons, where rhythms of gravity echo across billions of light years. There is humility in knowing this. Your daily life feels ordinary, waking, eating, working, resting. Yet above you, the universe is alive with extremes. Black holes stretch time itself, reminding you that the seconds you take for granted are fragile, flexible, astonishing. And perhaps you can carry this awareness into your own stillness. If time can bend at the edge of a black hole, perhaps your perception of time can bend here too. A single moment of calm can feel as long as an hour. A deep breath can stretch into an eternity of quiet. Just as relativity shapes the cosmos, your mind shapes your experience. Both are true, both powerful. Now close your eyes and imagine again the black hole. Imagine its horizon, the place where light and time surrender. Imagine your own heartbeat slowing, not in fear, but in wonder, as if the universe itself were holding you in stillness. Imagine hearing the deep pulse of space-time, a rhythm older than stars. You are safe, far away, but you can listen, you can feel, you can allow yourself to rest in the mystery that such places exist. And as you listen, another thought arises. If black holes can slow time, if they can nearly stop it, then what happens when you hold time in your hands? What happens when you build a clock so precise it keeps rhythm with the universe itself? You rest at the edge of darkness, hearing the slow, steady pulse of the cosmos. But beyond the silence of black holes, another question calls: what is it like to carry time in your pocket? Time in your pocket. A small device in your hand glows, holding atoms that tick more perfectly than your pulse. An atomic clock whispers truth. Seconds are not guesses, but vibrations of the universe, tiny pockets of time, steady in your palm. You carry time with you more closely than ever before. In your pocket, in your hand, on your wrist, a device glows softly. A phone, a watch, a tool of the modern world. It tells you the hour, the minute, the second. You look at it without question, trusting its numbers to guide your steps. You meet others by it, you begin and end your days by it. You live in rhythm with its steady glow. But what is the source of this steadiness? What gives your devices such faithful accuracy? The answer rests not in springs or gears, not in pendulums or sand, but in atoms, the smallest building blocks of the universe. Atoms themselves are clocks vibrating with rhythm so precise that they measure time far more perfectly than your heart or breath ever could. These are atomic clocks. They do not tick with hands, they tick with energy. Inside them, atoms, often cesium or rubidium, are made to resonate at frequencies so stable they become the ultimate metronome. Imagine striking a bell that never falters, never drifts, never changes pitch, no matter the years. An atom is such a bell. Its vibration becomes a second. Its rhythm becomes our standard of time. Pause and let this settle into you. The seconds you live by are not inventions of humans. They are rooted in the vibrations of the universe itself. A second is defined as 9,192,631,770 oscillations of a cesium atom's transition. Each time your clock ticks, it is echoing that universal rhythm, whispering a number etched into the cosmos. Your phone, your GPS, your internet, all are kept in sync by these invisible vibrations. Atomic clocks orbit Earth aboard satellites, sending their steady beats down to you. Ground stations keep watch, comparing signals, ensuring harmony. Without this web of atomic time, the digital world would unravel. Banking, communication, science, travel, all would slip into confusion. Think of how fragile this balance is and how extraordinary. When you look at the time on your phone, you are not just seeing numbers, you are seeing the resonance of atoms in orbit, billions of oscillations away, brought into your hand. You are holding the universe's rhythm, captured and shared. Now imagine carrying one of these atomic clocks yourself. In truth, you already do. Modern phones, though not full atomic devices, are tethered to them. Each moment you check the time, you are borrowing from their accuracy. It is as if you hold a small piece of the universe's heart in your pocket, pulsing with precision. There is comfort in this. Even when your day feels uncertain, even when your thoughts scatter, the clock remains steady. Its seconds arrive faithfully one after another, a rhythm you can trust. In a world of change, this steadiness is grounding. But there is also wonder, for atomic clocks are more than practical tools. They are windows into the fabric of time itself. With them, scientists measure the tiny stretching of seconds on mountaintops versus valleys, confirming Einstein's predictions. With them, we listen to the deep heartbeat of the Earth, sensing shifts in gravity, tremors in mountains, the flow of oceans. With them, we reach for the stars, guiding spacecraft across the solar system with signals timed to perfection. An atomic clock is not just a machine, it is a bridge between your everyday life and the cosmos. It whispers, time is not arbitrary. Time is written into the smallest parts of existence. Close your eyes and imagine holding such a clock. Imagine feeling its rhythm not as numbers, but as a soft vibration in your hand. It hums with certainty, steady as the tide, steady as your breath when you are calm. It does not judge, it does not hurry. It simply ticks, one oscillation at a time, marking the flow of life. And yet, even here, relativity whispers. No matter how precise the clock, it is still subject to gravity, to motion, to the bending of space-time. Two identical atomic clocks placed at different altitudes will disagree. Two sent in opposite directions will drift apart. Precision does not erase relativity. It reveals it more clearly. The more accurate our clocks, the more deeply we see time's flexibility. And so by holding time in your pocket, you hold proof that seconds are not universal. They stretch and shrink depending on where they live. Time is both steady and soft, both faithful and pliable. Pause for a breath and notice how you feel. Does your heartbeat seem steady? Does your breath feel rhythmic? These are your own inner clocks, and yet they drift, change, fluctuate with mood and health. Compare them to the atomic clock's constancy, and you realize your body keeps human time, but atoms keep cosmic time. Perhaps there is wisdom in this balance. You need both, the human time that bends with feeling, reminding you of joy and sorrow, of how moments can linger or vanish, and the cosmic time that stays steady, guiding ships and satellites, holding the world in order. Together they shape your existence, the personal and the universal, the soft and the precise. Think again of the black holes you left behind in the last chapter. At their edge, time stretched nearly to stillness, and here in your pocket, time ticks with near perfection. Between those extremes lies your life. Sometimes time feels endless, sometimes fleeting, but always it is measured, always it is shared. And perhaps the most tender truth is this: you are made of atoms yourself. The same particles that keep the universe's clock also build your skin, your breath, your thoughts. Time does not live only outside of you, it lives within you. Your body is already a keeper of cosmic rhythm. Now rest in this awareness. When you glance at the clock again, do not see it only as numbers. See it as a reminder that you live in a universe of rhythm, a universe of vibration, a universe that keeps time in every atom. And as you let that thought soothe you, another question begins to rise. If your body is made of clocks, if atoms themselves keep rhythm, what does it mean to be human within this great web of time? How do the clocks inside you shape your sleep, your hunger, your memory, your very sense of life? The pocket clock hums with atomic rhythm, steady, faithful, precise. But you are not only guided by devices, you carry clocks within your own body, marking time in ways older than any machine. The human clock within you. Close your eyes and your body remembers. Sleep, hunger, memory, all follow invisible patterns. Your circadian rhythm is a lantern inside you, marking days and nights, reminding you that time is also a feeling. You do not need to look at a clock to know that time has passed. Your body already knows, even when you are far from sunlight, even when no watch ticks on your wrist, something deep within you keeps track. It is quiet, hidden, almost mysterious. Yet it shapes everything you feel. When you wake, when you tire, when you hunger, when you dream. This is the human clock within. Science calls it the circadian rhythm. The word comes from circa diem, about a day. And truly that is what it is. A cycle of roughly 24 hours, tuned to the rotation of Earth, tuned to the rising and setting of the sun. You carry this cycle within you like a lantern, glowing faintly, guiding your inner tides. Close your eyes and picture this rhythm as a circle, a wheel slowly turning. On one side is morning, alertness rising, energy building. On the other is night, calm descending, sleepiness blooming. Your body moves around this wheel again and again, day after day, whether you notice or not. When morning comes, light enters your eyes and whispers to your brain, "It is time to wake." Your core temperature rises, your heart beats a little quicker, hormones shift. You feel alert not because of an alarm clock, but because the lantern inside you has been lit. Hours later, as the sky dims, the cycle turns again. Melatonin begins to flow, your body cools, your mind softens. You feel sleepy because the lantern is dimming, guiding you gently into rest. This rhythm is not perfect. Left in total darkness, cut off from the sun, your body will drift, following a cycle slightly longer than 24 hours. But the sun resets you each morning, pulling you back into harmony. Light is the hand that winds your inner clock, keeping it in rhythm with Earth's rotation. Pause and notice how deeply this clock shapes you. If you have ever stayed awake through the night, you know the strange heaviness that follows. Your body resists, reminding you of the cycle it carries. If you have flown across the world, you have felt jet lag, the dissonance between your inner clock and the sun's cycle. For days you stumble, your rhythm unsettled, until slowly, patiently, the lantern realigns. But the circadian rhythm is only one of your inner clocks. Others tick more subtly. Your stomach has a clock telling you when to expect food. That is why hunger comes at the same time each day, even if you do not eat. Your muscles have clocks, rising in strength at certain hours, falling at others. Even your brain has cycles, waves of alertness and fatigue that roll through the day. And then there are the clocks of sleep itself. At night you do not simply drift into one long rest. Instead you move through repeating cycles of 90 minutes, light sleep, deep sleep, dream sleep. These cycles are another rhythm, another tide within you. Together they heal your body, restore your memory, carry you through the night. All of these clocks weave together, forming a symphony of rhythms. Some are fast, like your heartbeat. Some are slow, like your circadian rhythm. Some are ancient, like the monthly cycles of hormones. Others are fleeting, like the pulses of brain waves as you dream. Together they create the music of your life. Pause and feel your own rhythms. Can you sense the beat of your heart, the rise and fall of your breath, the heaviness in your eyes when night arrives? These are not random. They are clocks, measuring, guiding, keeping you in balance, and yet, just as with the clocks in the sky, harmony is not guaranteed. When these rhythms fall out of sync, you feel the consequences. Sleep deprivation blurs memory and slows thought. Working against your circadian rhythm leaves you heavy, anxious, disoriented. Your body longs for balance, for alignment between its clocks and the world around it. Scientists have discovered that when these rhythms are disrupted for too long, health itself begins to fray. The risk of illness rises, the body loses its resilience. You are, in a deep sense, a creature of rhythm, and when rhythm falters, so does well-being. But there is also resilience in you. The body can reset, retune, realign. Light in the morning, rest at night, meals at regular times, calm breathing. All are ways of winding your clocks back into harmony. You are not at the mercy of chaos. You are part of the dance, capable of balance. There is something comforting in this truth. The human clock within is not only a machine, it is also a story. It remembers the sun, the moon, the cycles of earth. It carries the wisdom of ancestors who rose with dawn and rested with dusk. It whispers reminders of your place in the larger rhythm of life. And perhaps you have felt this in your own way. The joy of waking early, when the world is still quiet, when the body feels fresh, the deep release of sleep at night, when the lantern dims, the hunger before a meal, the heaviness in the afternoon, the surge of energy in the evening. All of these are chapters of your inner rhythm, unfolding again and again. To live with awareness of these rhythms is to live in gentleness. Instead of fighting the clock, you flow with it. You allow yourself to rest when tired, to rise when ready, to honor the tides within. You no longer see time only as numbers on a screen, but as feelings in your body, as lanterns glowing in your cells. This chapter of the journey reminds you, you are not separate from time. You are time. Every cell in your body carries its own clock. Every rhythm in your body is a measure of the universe. You are woven of seconds, of cycles, of tides. Pause now and breathe gently. Feel how your chest rises and falls with its own rhythm. Feel how your heartbeat drums softly. These are your inner clocks whispering that you are alive, that you are part of the flow. And as you rest in this awareness, you may begin to wonder, if your body carries so many clocks, what happens when time is stretched to extremes? When oceans rise and fall with violent tides, when planets pull water and rhythm into dramatic swings, how does time reveal itself in the world beyond your skin? The lantern of rhythm glows quietly within you, marking your days, your nights, your memories. But outside, the cosmos holds clocks of its own, measuring time in tides and gravity, in the restless breathing of the sea. The gentle flexibility of time. Time is not rigid, not a ruler carved in stone. It bends, flexes, and flows like breath. From galaxies drifting apart to a child's fleeting smile, it is both cosmic and personal, a dance between the vast and the intimate. You are used to thinking of time as something solid, a line perhaps stretching from past to future, a ruler unbending marked evenly with numbers and hours. Each tick of the clock feels the same as the one before, steady and absolute. But this picture, though comforting, is not the whole truth. Time is not rigid. It bends, it breathes, it flows like a gentle tide. You have already felt its flexibility. You have seen how gravity slows it, how speed stretches it, how clocks disagree depending on where they rest. You have felt it in your own heart, in the rhythm of your breath, in the cycles of your sleep. Time is not fixed. It is alive, moving differently for each of us. Pause and think of a childhood moment. Perhaps a summer afternoon that seemed to last forever, sunlight lingering, laughter echoing, the day endless. And then think of another moment, a joyful one, that vanished in an instant. A celebration, a reunion, a kiss. The hours melted and you wished they would last longer. Same clock, same seconds, but time itself felt different. This is the human side of flexibility. Time is not only physics, it is also perception. Your inner clocks stretch or compress the moments you live. Scientists have studied this too. When you are afraid, your brain lays down memories more densely, making time feel longer. When you are joyful or deeply focused, time slips by unnoticed. Your experience is elastic, bending with emotion, bending with attention. Now, combine these two truths, the scientific and the personal. Time bends in the universe and time bends in you. Both are real, both are woven into your life. Consider the universe on its largest scale. Galaxies drift apart, carried by cosmic expansion. Billions of years pass in silence, yet from our perspective, it is but the blink of an eye. The light from a distant star may have taken 10 billion years to reach you, and yet tonight, as you look up, it arrives in an instant. For that star, time has unfolded differently than for you. Or consider the smallest scales. A particle exists for less than a billionth of a second, appearing and vanishing too quickly for your mind to grasp. Yet in that brief existence, the particle has lived its full life. To it, a moment is eternity. To you, eternity is a moment. Do you see? Time is not the same everywhere. It flexes across distance, across scale, across perspective. What feels fleeting to you may be endless to another. What feels eternal to you may be brief to the cosmos. And yet, there is harmony in this. Time flexes gently, but it does not break. It adjusts, it balances, it accommodates the vast differences of the universe. Like a fabric stretched over many shapes, it conforms without tearing. Time has a quiet generosity, bending so that everything can exist together. Imagine again that fabric of space-time. It is soft, pliable, like silk spread across the universe. Mass bends it, motion stretches it, yet it remains whole. You live woven into it, moving with its folds. Your seconds are not separate from its threads. They are threads themselves, part of the cosmic cloth. Now, return to yourself. Think of a day when you felt impatient, every minute dragged, the clock unwilling to move, and another day when joy carried you so quickly that the sun seemed to fall before you were ready. This is your perception bending, just as space-time bends. The same truth at different scales. The universe flexes, and so do you. Perhaps there is wisdom in this. If time is flexible, then you need not cling to it so tightly. You can allow it to flow, to stretch, to contract without fear. You can accept that some days will feel endless and others fleeting. Both are natural. Both are part of the gentle dance of time. Breathe with this thought. Inhale slowly, feel the second expand. Exhale softly, feel the second release. Even within your breath, time bends. A single moment can feel long if you notice it, short if you let it pass. You carry this flexibility always within your awareness. Science tells us that time is relative. Philosophy tells us that time is perception. Together they whisper the same truth. Time is not a cage, It is a companion walking at many paces, shifting its stride to match the path. Think of the child and the elder. To the child, a year is immense, filled with endless discovery. To the elder, a year is brief, another circle around the sun passing quickly. Neither is wrong. Each feels the flexibility of time differently. Think too of love and absence. When you are with someone you love, hours feel like minutes. When you are apart, minutes feel like hours. Time bends with emotion, just as it bends with gravity. Both are real, both are profound. And perhaps this is the deepest comfort. You are not trapped by time's rigidity. You are held within its softness. Your seconds are not carved into stone, they are waves upon a river. You float upon them, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, always moving forward, always carried. Now imagine resting in this truth. You no longer resist when time feels slow, for you know it will speed again. You no longer cling when time feels fast, for you know it will stretch again. You breathe, you soften, you allow the dance. Even science reminds you of this gentleness. The most precise atomic clocks, though steady, still reveal tiny flexes of time under gravity, under speed. The universe itself acknowledges flexibility. Perfection is not rigid, perfection is adaptive, pliable, alive. And so you may begin to live with more softness toward time, no longer demanding it move at your pace, but listening instead to its rhythm, trusting that even when it feels uneven, it is whole. Even when it bends, it holds you. This is the gift of understanding time's flexibility. It frees you from the illusion of control. It invites you into trust. It reminds you that whether time feels fleeting or endless, both are part of the same river. Let yourself rest now, imagining the river flowing not in a straight line, but in curves, bends, eddies. Imagine yourself drifting, not pushing, not resisting. You are carried by the gentle flexibility of time, the same softness that bends stars and stretches seconds. And as you drift, you begin to wonder, if time bends forward and backward in perception, if it stretches and flexes in relativity, why does it always flow in one direction? Why does it not reverse? Why do broken glasses not leap whole again? Why does milk not pour itself back into the cup? The answer lies in the arrow of time and in the quiet, inevitable spread of disorder. You rest in time's gentle embrace, its flow bending softly around you. But one question lingers in the silence. If time is so flexible, why does it only ever move forward? The arrow of time and entropy. Spilled milk does not leap back into the glass. Shattered glass does not rebuild itself. The arrow of time points one way, forward. Entropy writes the rule, and the universe drifts toward disorder. Imagine a glass falling from a table. It slips, shatters on the floor, scattering pieces across the tiles. You look down and know, without thinking, what will not happen. The shards will not leap back together. The cracks will not seal. The milk will not rise into the glass as if nothing happened. The mess will stay a mess unless you clean it. This is the arrow of time, not just the passing of seconds, but the direction in which they move, forward, always forward. And yet, the laws of physics themselves do not demand this direction. When written as equations, the movements of particles can be reversed. A film of colliding billiard balls played backward would still obey the laws of physics. The equations do not care if the balls roll forward or back. They only describe change, not direction. So why, in your life, do you feel time's one-way flow so strongly? Why do you remember the past but never the future? Why do you grow older, never younger? Why does order fall into disorder but never the other way around? The answer lies in entropy. Entropy is a word from thermodynamics, but you do not need its technical details to feel it. Entropy is the measure of disorder. Imagine a tidy room, books stacked neatly, clothes folded, bed made. Now imagine the same room after weeks of neglect, books scattered, clothes on the floor, bed undone. Which is more likely? Disorder grows. Order is possible but fragile. Entropy is this tendency of the universe to spread, to scatter, to dissolve neatness into chaos. A drop of ink spreads through water. Heat seeps from hot coffee into cool air. Energy disperses, never recollecting perfectly on its own. The universe drifts naturally from order to disorder. And with this drift, time reveals its arrow. You know which direction the film runs by watching entropy increase. Spilled milk forward, glass shattering forward, ink spreading forward, always forward. Pause here and let yourself feel the weight of this. Time is not just the ticking of clocks. It is the steady growth of entropy. It is the story of the universe drifting into disorder. This may sound somber, but look again. Entropy is not only destruction, it is also creation. The scattering of elements in the stars allowed them to form planets. The spreading of energy from the sun allows life on Earth. The very fact that your body runs warm, exchanging heat with the air, is entropy at work. Disorder grows, but in its growth complexity blooms. Think of a forest. Dead leaves fall, decay, scatter. Yet from that decay, soil is enriched. New plants grow. Life cycles onward. Entropy rises, but life adapts within it. The arrow of time, while unyielding, is also the canvas on which existence paints itself. Now return to yourself. Your body too is subject to entropy. Cells wear down, memories fade, energy disperses. You age because entropy moves forward. Your body cannot reverse its own time. You cannot grow younger. And yet, within this one-way flow, beauty is written. Memory exists because the past leaves traces, patterns left behind. Without the arrow of time, memory would be impossible. Without entropy, life would not unfold. Science has sought to understand why the universe began in such an ordered state. The Big Bang at its birth was surprisingly low in entropy, like a room perfectly tidy. From that moment, entropy has grown, scattering stars, spreading galaxies, unfolding the cosmos toward disorder. This one fact, the universe's beginning in order, is what gives time its arrow. If the universe had begun already disordered, time would have no direction. But because it began neat, time must move toward mess. So here you are, carried by this arrow. You cannot step outside it, you cannot hold it still, but you can feel it gently as the hum beneath your days. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. Each breath increases entropy. You take in ordered air, you return it warmer, more dispersed. With every breath, you are participating in the arrow of time. With every heartbeat, you move further along its path, and yet, even knowing this, you can find peace. The arrow of time is not cruel, it is simply the rhythm of the universe. Without it, there would be no beginnings, no endings, no stories. A book unread is only paper. A book read is a journey, because time has direction. Think of music. A song only exists because time moves forward. Notes played backward lose meaning. It is the order, the sequence, the flow that creates beauty. In the same way, your life gains shape because time is not reversible. Your story unfolds one way, and in its direction meaning arises. And what of memory? You cannot remember tomorrow, but you can remember yesterday. This asymmetry is born of entropy. Memories are traces, marks left by order turning into disorder. Each experience is etched into your brain by the arrow of time. Your past exists because entropy allowed it to leave patterns behind. Even your dreams, as you rest at night, are shaped by this arrow. They are fragments of past experience reshaped into new patterns. The future cannot dream itself in you, because entropy has not yet carved its mark forward. There is humility in this truth. You are not separate from entropy. You are woven into it. You live, you age, you change, because the universe moves toward disorder. And yet, within that drift you build meaning, you make choices, you love, you learn, you create. Entropy does not erase these, it frames them. Pause once more and breathe. Notice the warmth leaving your body, the air dispersing. This is the arrow of time in its simplest form. And notice too the way your thoughts wander, remembering the past, unable to touch tomorrow. This is entropy written in your mind. You may feel a trace of sorrow, that time cannot be reversed, that broken things do not mend themselves, that youth does not return. But you may also feel a trace of gratitude, because the arrow of time allows moments to matter. If they could be undone endlessly, would they mean as much? A kiss matters because it will not return the same way. A sunrise matters because it comes only once. Each moment is precious because entropy makes it so. And so you rest in this paradox. The arrow of time carries you forward, and you cannot turn back. Yet in this one-way flow, beauty, memory, and meaning are born. Now, as you lie with this thought, another question emerges. If time flows forward, if entropy rises, does this flow have an end? Will there come a horizon where time itself dissolves into silence? What waits at the edge of forever? Entropy hums quietly in your breath, guiding the arrow of your days forward. But in the stillness of night you wonder softly, what lies at the horizon of forever? The horizon of forever, beyond stars, beyond endings. You wonder if time has an edge. Does it stop, circle back, or dissolve into silence? The future is a horizon you cannot touch, yet tonight you can drift toward its gentle mystery. You lie here still as the river of time carries you onward. You have followed its currents through clocks and rhythms, through gravity's hand and light's constancy, through black holes and entropy. Each chapter has revealed a new bend in the flow. And now, as you near the end of this journey, one final question rises quietly. Does time itself have an end? Look out into the night sky. The stars shimmer, but many of them are not as they seem. Some are long gone, their light traveling still, messages from a past that no longer exists. Others are being born even now, glowing with fresh fire. Above you is not only space, it is time stretched across billions of years. Every point of light is a memory. Every galaxy is a chapter written long before you could read it. So what of the future? Beyond these stars, beyond all beginnings and endings, does there lie a horizon? A final edge where time itself dissolves into silence? Science offers many possibilities, and each is humbling. One is called the heat death of the universe. In this vision, entropy continues to rise forever. Stars burn out, galaxies grow dim, energy spreads evenly until no work can be done. The cosmos does not explode nor collapse, but fades into a vast, silent stillness. No more stars, no more light, only the faint hum of particles drifting in endless equilibrium. Time in such a universe becomes almost meaningless. With nothing left to change, nothing left to mark its passage, time dissolves into a kind of eternity of stillness. Pause with that thought. Imagine lying in the deepest silence where no star shines, no galaxy spins, no breath stirs. Not frightening, not painful, simply still. A forever without rhythm, a horizon of perfect calm. Another vision is the big crunch. In this story, the expansion of the universe slows, reverses, and all matter falls back inward. Galaxies rush together, stars collide. Everything collapses toward a single point. A mirror of the Big Bang, but in reverse. Here time does not fade into stillness, it crashes into an ending. Seconds grow shorter, events pile upon events, until all of history folds into a single final moment. Imagine that too, the universe collapsing inward like a breath being drawn back into the chest. Time does not dissolve. It ends sharply, like the last note of a song. And yet another vision is the big bounce. Perhaps the universe is not a one-time event, but a cycle. Expansion, collapse, rebirth. Like breath itself, inhale, exhale, inhale again. In such a universe, time does not end, it circles. Your moment, though fleeting, is part of an endless rhythm. The arrow of time is forward within each cycle, but across eternity it may be circular. Pause once more. Which vision feels closest to your heart? Endless stillness, a final collapse? Or a rhythm of cycles forever repeating? Each has its own poetry. Each invites a different feeling, calm, awe, continuity. And yet there is another possibility still, that time itself is not fundamental, that it is not a river flowing independently, but a pattern emerging from deeper truths. Some physicists wonder if time is like temperature, not a thing in itself, but a property that arises from the behavior of countless particles. In this view, time could dissolve not because it ends, but because it was never fundamental. Like a mirage on hot sand, it could vanish when seen too closely. Imagine then peeling back the universe layer by layer until what you call time dissolves into something stranger. Pure relationships, pure change, but no steady river beneath. What would forever mean in a world where time itself was only an illusion? This question may feel too large, too abstract, but notice what happens in your body as you wonder. Your heart slows, your breath deepens, your mind releases its grip. You realize you do not need the answer. The mystery itself is enough, because what matters most is not what lies at the horizon of forever, but what lies here, now. You are alive in this moment, carried by seconds that feel both fleeting and infinite. You do not need to see the entire river to feel its water against your skin. You do not need to know the end to rest in the present. Still, the imagination lingers. What if the universe truly stretches forever, galaxies drifting apart until even their light cannot reach each other? Then you here tonight are part of the brief era when the stars were still visible, when the sky still sang. Your life is small, but it belongs to this golden age of starlight. That thought is humbling and precious. Or what if the universe collapses in fire, ending in brilliance rather than silence? Then every second you live is part of the grand crescendo, the swelling of music before its final chord. That too is beautiful, even if fleeting. And if the universe cycles endlessly, then you are a note in a melody that never ends, echoing again and again in new forms. Your moments are both unique and eternal. Do you see? Each vision, whether of death, rebirth, or illusion, gives a different gift. Stillness, intensity, continuity. None erase the meaning of now. Time, whatever its ultimate fate, is your companion tonight. It bends for gravity, stretches for speed, carries memory, births entropy, holds mystery. It is both strict and gentle, both ruler and river. It is the fabric in which you live, and the feeling in which you dream. Close your eyes and imagine yourself at the horizon of forever. You do not fear it, you do not rush to meet it, you simply drift as you have all along, carried by seconds like ripples on water. You rest in the flow, knowing you are part of something vast, something endless, whether or not it has an end. You are time's passenger, but also its expression. Your heartbeat, your breath, your memories, they are all ways the universe keeps time within itself. You are not outside of forever. You are already inside it. And so, you let go of the need to know the final answer. You rest instead in the softness of the question. What is forever? Where does time lead? Perhaps the mystery is the gift, the lullaby that carries you to sleep. Let the thought settle. You are part of a story larger than stars, larger than galaxies, larger even than time. You do not need to reach the horizon to belong to it. You are already there, already woven into the fabric of forever. Breathe gently now. Feel your body relax into the bed. Feel the seconds stretch soft and slow. The journey has carried you across rivers, clocks, gravity, black holes, entropy, horizons. And now, at the edge of forever, you find not fear, but calm. The universe is vast, time is flexible, and you are safe within its flow. Perhaps forever is not something you arrive at, but something you feel. A quiet infinity in a single breath. A soft eternity in the rhythm of a heartbeat. The horizon is not far away. It is here, in you, in this moment, stretching endlessly, softly, silently. You drift at the horizon of forever, where questions dissolve into calm. Time carries you still, but in its gentle embrace, you feel eternity already here. Resting in the flow of time. The journey is complete now. You have drifted through rivers and clocks, through gravity's hand and light's constancy, through black holes, entropy, and horizons. You have followed time as it bent and stretched, as it whispered in your body, as it thundered in the stars, and now you return softly to yourself, to this moment, to this breath. Time, you see, is not only out there in the cosmos, it is here, inside you. Every heartbeat, every breath, every memory is a rhythm in the great symphony of the universe. You are not outside of time's story. You are a verse within it, sung gently, carried forward. Close your eyes and listen inward. Hear the steady beat of your heart, your first clock faithful since the moment you were born. Feel the slow rhythm of your breath rising and falling like waves on a shore. These are your anchors. These are your reminders that you are carried always by time's current. You do not need to grasp time. You do not need to control it. It flows without your effort. It carries you without your command. You are free to rest, to release, to trust the river. Think now of all you have learned. That time bends under gravity, stretches under speed, carries the memory of the past but not the future. That black holes slow it nearly to silence, while atoms tick with cosmic steadiness. That your body too is a keeper of clocks, holding rhythms older than any machine, and that entropy and the gentle drift into disorder is the arrow that gives time direction, that makes stories possible, that gives meaning to each passing moment. And beyond all these truths, one final gift remains, the mystery. The horizon of forever is not something you must solve, it is something you may rest within. You are already part of eternity, not by reaching it, but by living here, now, in the seconds that stretch before you. Let this thought settle into you like a blanket. Time is vast, but it is also intimate. It is galaxies expanding, but it is also the memory of a smile. It is the lifespan of stars, but it is also the softness of one breath. You are held by both, the cosmic and the personal, the infinite and the fleeting. And so, as this story ends, you do not need to hold on to it. You can let it drift, as moments do, as dreams do, into the quiet river of your mind. The journey has carried you far, but now it invites you to rest. Lay your thoughts down gently. Feel them soften, dissolve. The river of time carries them away. You are lighter now, floating. Each breath is a small eternity. Each beat of your heart is a reminder. You are here, you are alive, you are safe. And as sleep comes to meet you, there is nothing you must do, nothing you must fix, nothing you must control. Time flows for you and will flow without you. You may release yourself into its current, trusting that it knows the way. Rest now. The story is complete. The questions have been asked, the mysteries shared. There is no need for answers, only the gentle awareness that you are part of it all. You are the river, you are the rhythm, you are time resting within itself.